everybody. Welcome to the B Channel podcast, where my objective is to bless, edify, and encourage others to live their best lives. And today's episode is entitled God Will Redeem the Time. And I wanted to start out today's episode by reading from Joel chapter 2, verse 25 in the Bible. It says, "The Lord says, I will give you back what you lost to the swarming locust, the hopping locust, the stripping locust, and the cutting locust. It was I who sent this great destroying army against you." And I love the concept of God as a redeemer because when you think about the seasons that you encounter in your life, redemption is really important. You want to feel like you used your time in a meaningful way. And when it comes to being a person who graduated from the school of caregiving, shall we say, it is very important to feel as though this is a promise that God will truly fulfill. Because there are a lot of different instances where people make you feel as though you have wasted your time, right? They make you feel as though you missed the boat, and you get this sense of FOMO, this sense of missing out on all the things that truly matter in life, like traveling to some, or dating and having a family and having this illustrious career, right? And they make it seem sometimes as though your life is over when you are a caregiver, and then you start to feel like, well, is it? And then you emerge from this season of caregiving and you realize, well, that's not quite true, because there's always a chance for me to do something different, for me to reinvent myself, for me to enjoy my life, and for me to redefine what success looks like for me, and to enjoy the time that I do have now at my disposal. Because one of the things that happens when you're a caregiver is you don't have a lot of time to yourself. So when you kind of abruptly get this time back, it just really makes you reflect on all the time that you spent. And now you're kind of like, okay, what do I do now? So it's really a season of reflection for me. And, as I record this, it's the springtime. It's March, of 2025. It's getting there. It's the seasons are changing. The weather pattern is shifting, right? So I feel like that's what's going on in my soul right now, y'all. The weather pattern in my soul is shifting. I'm starting to reconsider what life really means and what I value. Because even though caregiving can be a very rewarding thing, it can also be very like grueling, and you're kind of forced to put your wants, your needs, your desires on the back burner, and to put someone else first and be selfless, right? And you do it out of love, and you do it because you care about the person that you're taking care of, right? But like there comes a time when you finally stop doing it and you're like, whoa, whoa. And then there's this weird kind of conundrum that you'll run into. I'm pretty sure if you've been a long term caregiver and then all of a sudden grief kind of abruptly halts that. People may all of a sudden think that your time is for them. And you kind of realize, whoa, I need to really establish some boundaries here because there's a lot going on. And you have to learn how to, instead of spending all that time advocating for that person, now you have to say, whoa, it's time to advocate for me. What is it that I want to focus on? Because let's be honest, when you lose someone that is kind of integral to your life, I mean, they're like 50% of the reason why you're here is your parent. It's like, whoa, like, what am I doing? Like, you have to figure out everything all over again. So, that the verse that I read to y'all in the beginning of this, it's pivotal. It's pivotal for you to understand no matter what season of transition you may find yourself in. You may be leaving college or leaving a job that you thought you would be at for a long time, or you may be leaving a marriage, unfortunately, or your kids may be leaving the home and now you're empty nesting, or you may be starting just starting out on your family journey, building your family, or getting married. All of these phases of life, there are so many phases of life which call for reflection on how you're going to transition. How are you going to adapt to the loss of a relationship or the addition of a relationship? And it's just so, it's helpful to me to know that God is going to redeem the time. He is going to make the time that I have um, left meaningful. He is going to help me to be fruitful and purposeful. But I have to understand, you know, like take the time to understand what that means and to reflect on that and meditate on that when I want to feel discouraged and anxious about the future. Because, when it comes to time, we as people will literally find ourselves, we are either stuck in the past or we're running ahead to the future. So it is crucial. I am learning how crucial it is to learn to be present, to cherish the time that you have, to enjoy the time that you have while you have it, and not always be rushing ahead. And that is something that I'm going to be talking about in some other episodes that I'm going to do, because it's really something um as well. And I'm just really having a lot of time here now. The time that I spent, now I get that time back. And it's really surreal, y'all. And you just learn to value time so much more, and you start to understand that it's not it's not necessarily about filling every minute to like distract yourself or to just get ahead of God, right? You have to really take your time. And it might be that you have an inclination to rush because you feel like for so long your life has been about other people as a caregiver or as a mother or even as an older sibling or as a boss or someone who is a leader. You're in a leadership role. A lot of people depend on you, right? it can be hard to take a step back and say, you know what? God will redeem the time. Whatever time that I used, and I used it um in in a God honoring way, in a way that he would smile upon. And other people may not understand how I use that time, right? But God is going to redeem that time. He's going to make the next part of my life, the next chapter, even sweeter because I chose to honor him with the time that I spent and the capacity in which I spent it, right? So I just want y'all to be encouraged out there. If you're going through a time of transition, if you've always um, been the type of person who puts other people first and kind of just put yourself on the back burner, that this next season, the season where things are shifting, the season where things are changing, is going to be sweeter. But you really, really, really do have to like understand that God will redeem the time. And that's really pretty much all I have to say to y'all. God is going to redeem this time. And no matter what other people thought, God is going to redeem it because he knows you and he cares and he's concerned and he has a plan, and nothing can stop the plan that God has from coming to pass. Whatever plan that he has for you, it has to come to fruition. It's just a matter of what? Time. Y'all. I think that's kind of the theme, you know, like for this year, is just being patient with God in that way, being patient on the journey that I find myself on. And I'm sure many of you may be finding yourselves on in various seasons of your life if you haven't already found yourself in that place. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that and give a little gentle reminder that it's okay if you're in transition. You find yourself in a really unsettling place right now. It's okay. We have to all trust that God will redeem the time. So that's all for today, y'all. I hope that something that I said has been helpful to you in some way, shape, or form. If so, and you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you take the time to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let me know what you thought about this episode. If you are listening over on Spotify, make sure that you take the time to follow, participate in today's poll, and comment, y'all. Let me know, give me some feedback if you would like more content such as this. And I will try to get on that for y'all. And last but not least, be sure that you follow me at B Channel 27 on all social platforms. Instagram is going to be your best bet. You're going to find me there more times than not, but I'm also on YouTube, Substack, WordPress, LinkedIn, and Spotify. And I dabble in a little bit of TikTok. I might post some thoughts, you know. That's what I put on my story, the thoughts. That's what you're going to get, you know. So, yeah, by all means, catch up with me over on Instagram, and you'll see what I'm up to as far as the blogs, the collaborations, and any podcast episodes that I put out. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate the support, and peace and blessings until next time.